Mr. Otto Goodman, everybody. On behalf of the Chelsea Alumni Club and the Holy Canadian
General, hey, how are you? So
I'd like to welcome each and all of you.
Class of 1935, Manny Abrams. From the class of 1982, Richard Maronsky. From the class of 1967, Bobby Long. Also from the class of 1967, Tom Tracer. Class of 1978, one of two women being inducted tonight, Tina Rizzo. From the class of 1977, Ed Richards. Inductee from the class of 1985, Nancy Pilcher. From the class of 1956, Dean Ruskowitz. From the class of 1977, John Tucker. From the class of 1952, the late Frank Murphy, being represented by his son, Frank Murphy Jr. Please pose for a picture for our Chelsea record. Sled.
From his days in Little League, 4 championships, 3 more in the Chelsea Youth Baseball League. In high school, he compiled one of the most successful athletic careers in Chelsea High history. During Eddie's cross-country career, his teams won 52 consecutive dual meets, 52-0, a state Class C championship, 3 Greater Boston League titles. It was a glorious era for Chelsea High cross-country when Bobby Goss and Eddie Richard were the dominant 1-2 punch in the state of Massachusetts. After high school, Eddie Richard continued on to a record-setting career at Northeastern University. He just completed his 5th Boston Marathon. Tonight it's a real honor to honor Eddie Richard, who is here with his wife Kathy, son Kevin, his mother Elaine Richard, who can be very proud of the accomplishments of her 4 sons, Jimmy, Kenny, Jack, and Eddie. And I asked Jack Richard to accompany his brother, a real champion and a great guy, to the microphone to accept Chelsea High's highest honor.
asked me to give a little further introduction for Ed. And I really appreciate that honor and that chance, because nobody knows Ed the way I do. We've been, grew up together, and we competed with and against each other for almost 40 years now. And the one thing about Ed is he is a winner, as Perry said. He's a very, very fierce competitor. And he was always a winner, but I know how he achieved that success. And you know, all of us that have been involved in sports, once in a while you see an athlete that just seems touched by God with certain talents. Right from the time they pick up a sport, it just comes easy to them. I see John Tucker here, he was an athlete like that. I knew right when we saw John on the first time, he just had it, it came natural, and it just came easy to him. And Ed, I have to tell you, from all these folks, that is not you. Eddie had great success, as Kerry outlined, but Eddie's success did not come easily. Eddie had success because he wanted it more than the other guy, because he focused on it in a way that I could never explain to you folks, that he was so tough, so dedicated, and he hates to lose. I love that about him. He hates to lose like no one I've ever met, and he just loves to win. And if I could just give a few quick stories, races from his career that illustrate these things. I remember his very first race. Coach Dwyer used to make us run up in break hard, little scrimmages. Eddie had been running only a few weeks. And we're up at break hard, and I sort of got him into running, so I felt a little bit responsible for him. So we start the race, off into the woods we go, and we come out, and I finish. The first thing I do is I turn around, I'm looking to Ed, where is he? I hope he's okay. And, you know, at first the experienced runners come in, and that's okay. He's only been running a few weeks. And some of the other good athletes who hadn't been running too long, but the guys from the baseball and basketball teams who get picked up running come in, and that's all right. And then the time is going, and still no sign of Eddie. And, you know, then it starts getting a little bit ugly. You know, the kids from the math club start coming in. You know, the yearbook staff. The audio-visual kids used to the kids who took the short bus, everybody's coming in. There's no sign of Eddie.
We get the point.
So finally he comes in, and he's coming down the road, and he is ripping math. He's going to kill somebody. He's running son of a... So I asked him, what happened? You okay? Did you get hurt? No. What happened? That kid in front of me cheated. You know this story, Jim. So what do you mean he cheated? It's a loop course. How did he cut the course? You know, what he was doing, he cheated. He would run a while, and then he'd get tired, so he'd walk. And when he got his breath back, he'd start running again. And then he'd walk, and then, you know, there's no rule that says you have to run the whole way. It's not cheating. It's just for most normal people, that's the fastest way to get around, so that's what we all do. But that's not cheating. So I said, maybe, forget about the rules. If the kids were walking and beating you in your first race, maybe this isn't the thing for you. But he looked at me and he said, no, I'll be all right. I'll get him. And from that moment, all the hundreds of kids that he would beat over the years, I know because I'm one of them, their fate was sealed. Once he put his focus on that, that was it for all of us. And he had a way of controlling pain. Running basically is about, distance running, is about ignoring that voice in your body that says, that's enough, this hurts, slow down, stop, and it sends you that message with pain. And most people, of course, listen to that at some point and slow down. The great runners find a way to cope with that. They either ignore it, they overcome it, or somehow they get past it, and that's what Eddie would do. He just would turn off the pain response. We ran a race once, a road race in Chelsea. Coach Dwyer got Alberto Salazar to come down to Chelsea to run a road race. And if you know running, Alberto Salazar has won the Boston Marathon and New York Marathon. He's one of the all-time great runners. He had the world record in the marathon. This is like having Michael Jordan come down and play basketball with you. So the night before, Eddie and I are thinking, well, you know, it's Chelsea. He doesn't know the streets. We do. Maybe we have a shot at beating this guy. So it's easier said than done, but the day starts and it is hot. It's over 100 degrees. We're out on the course, and it's impossible to keep it up. You know, we're trying to stay with him, but we just can't do it. Come the last mile, I can't keep contact anymore. Salazar takes up. He stays with him. He's just so determined and just will not give up. I remember coming into the track, the old Chelsea Stadium had that cinder track. It was on a hot day like volcanic ash. I mean, you couldn't even walk on it. I'm half out of my mind. As I finished, I remember stepping over somebody. And it turns out it was Ed. He had run himself. We were in the shower afterward, laying on the tile. The ambulance comes in, and we're just out of it. And he says to me, he's in and out of consciousness, and he said, Jack, who are these guys? Where are they taking me? I said, well, this is the people from the ambulance. They're taking you to the hospital. And his eyes open up wide. He said, the hospital? I said, yeah, I hope you wear clean underwear. I said, I hope you have clean underwear. He said, well, not anymore, I don't. I'm looking behind. I haven't been in Chelsea in a long time. And I swear I'm only going to go 2 beers here, but I'm looking at this view of Broadway out the window. I feel like Daniel Boone up there with this thing. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to take you to Eddie's last race. He's in the final of the state 2-mile championship. And this is great, just to make the finals quite an accomplishment. He's on the track with 10 or 12 of the best runners in the state. And you look up and down the line, and most of them are these tall, lean, lanky guys, and they look, as Ani would call them, gazelles. And you look down the road and you say, what's wrong with this picture? Who's the kid from Chelsea with those massive, muscular thighs? You know, he just didn't have the physique of a runner. The other guys are looking at him, you know, thinking the shot put's over this way, buddy. So the race starts, and he's in contact, though. It's really, to his credit, he's keeping up with these guys. Halfway through, he's still in it. And we're in the stands, Coach and I, we're all thrilled that he can even acquit himself well in such a race. He keeps it up. And with about a lap left, I see him coming around. He's got that look in his eye again. You know, something crazy might happen here. I go bounding down the stands, I'm screaming at him. I'm on the infield running, come on, get him, get him, get him. 200 yards left. All these gazelles, it's still open, they're on. He's grinding. You'd expect at any point they're going to make their movement. The last few hundred yards, they start tightening up. He smells it like a shark smells blood in the water. He goes right at it. One by one, he starts picking them off. 100 yards out, he's got a chance at third. This is unbelievable. He's got a chance at second. Right at the end, the leader starts faltering. From out of nowhere, he takes the guy. He wins the state meet. Now, this is a kid who started. He couldn't beat the walkers in front of him on an inter-squad meet. And just a few years later, he's the best 2-miler in the state. And you wonder where you get people like that. And Eddie knows, and I know, and that is you get them from parents like we had. My mother, my father, brilliant, affectionate, the best parents anyone could ever ask for. We had 4 boys in 5 years in our family. And everyone always used to tell us, oh, God bless your mother. Well, that's right. God bless our mother, because she kept it together for us and gave us the best upbringing anyone could have. We come from heroes, Eddie and I and Jim and Ken, and we couldn't have turned out any other way, actually. And no discussion of Eddie's success. And any discussion of Eddie's athletic achievements have to include Coach Barry Dwyer. He took the cross-country program from nothing, and in just a few years made it a powerhouse. And he would get us to that line. We were so well prepared physically and mentally. The race was over before it started. As Kerry said, we won 53 meets in a row. His enthusiasm, his affection for us, he made us as good as he wanted us to be. And I don't know if any coach in Chelsea history has ever won so many meets or ever had such a winning record, but I'm sure Eddie would agree that he's a very important part of our athletic success. And on a personal note, at a very important time in our lives, he was there for us, and I think he's a very important part of my success later in life. So I think Barry Dwyer deserves a lot. And one last story about Eddie. He still has that competitive fire. Just a few weeks ago, he was over my house. We were playing a little basketball. I gave him a real good beat, really good solid beat. A few days later, he's over my house around breakfast time, and I said, come on in there, have a juice, have something. No, I'm okay. I'm in the house and I hear boom, 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 boom out on the court. He's out there practicing his jump shot over and over. I called my son over, I said, see that out there? That's what a winner does. He never quits, he always tries. And I told my son, emulate that, be that, and you can be great. And he, like I said, he hates to lose, and I love that about him. And I love him and I respect him. And he's always been a warrior. I want him on my team all the time. He's always my first pick. And I'm glad you guys gave me an opportunity to try to explain a little bit about what a great competitor he is, Ted Mitchell.
but it's over. Thank you, Jay. This is a great honor, and in many ways, it's a recognition of amazing and incredible time in the history of sports in Chelsea. I'd first like to thank Carrie and the members of the committee for selecting me, and once again recognizing the unique accomplishments of the cross-country track program in the 70s. I want to thank all my family and friends, my teammates and coaches that are here tonight, especially my wife Kathy, my son Kevin. Thanks to my mom, who was previously inducted into the Great Mothers Hall of Fame, and my dad, who I know is very proud of what his sons have accomplished with their families. I want to thank all my brothers who are here. Ken for his support. He helped me get on the cross-country team in his alma mater, Northeastern. My brother Jim, who I had my first official run with, and was a constant source of encouragement and convinced me to stick with running and not go back to baseball. And also my teammate, my brother, co-captain Jack, for much inspiration and leadership on all those late night pre-race strategy sessions. I want to thank my friend Harvey Rayleigh, who's here, a great athlete, himself, who was always there before, during, and after the races. And I'd also like to thank Harvey for being next to me in the answers in Spanish class. My fantastic coaches, Barry Dwyer and Wally Bavaro, who unselfishly gave their heart and soul to the kids of Chelsea for so many years, as Barry continues to now, and also Coach Steve Maswell from Medford Tigers here. In many ways, the track and cross-country dynasty was made up of a number of families within one big family. I'm glad to have Barry Dwyer's alone here and the whole Dwyer family who are here, and the Rosati family is also instrumental, the Safala family, to name a few. Of course, all my teammates in those years who were a core of very tough, very dedicated winners. Hall of Famer Bobby Goss, whose legendary record and talent is still being talked about today. Hall of Famer Richie Bradley, and so many other my teammates who I wish I had time to thank. I want to give respect and thanks also to some of the pioneers of that great era of track and cross-country in Chelsea. The late Coach Barrington, Coach Bavaro, Steve DePaul and Mark Feldman, who are here, and Steve's brother Richie as well. Over the years, many people have wondered, what was the real secret to the success of the Chelsea cross-country and track programs? Were the distance runners in Chelsea just that much talented than anybody else? Was there a secret why the members of the Chelsea cross-country and track teams were respected and feared everywhere we went when they piled out of one car and meet against a Class A or Division I school who would come in 2 or more buses? There was one real reason. That reason was that we were very fortunate to have the most successful and winningest coach in the history of sports in Chelsea, Barry Dwyer. Barry Dwyer instilled in his runners concepts that we all draw on and will always use in our daily lives. A sense of pride, confidence, teamwork, never quitting. That the success you achieve is a direct result of the hard work you put in. What better lessons could anyone of those early teenage years have permanently built into them? When I was preparing this speech, I really wanted to have something profound to say, because this is such a once-in-a-lifetime moment. So I decided to go to an outdoor track this afternoon and figured that maybe if I ran as hard as I could for 2 miles and reached that inevitable point of pain and suffering, that something would trigger an old memory or a thought. There's really no need to mention how it took me to run those 2 miles today, but sure enough, in the middle of the second mile, as my legs and arms grew heavy, I recalled what I used to use at that moment that Jack was speaking about when the pain set in, and what was it that sort of drove me past that point. And it was that I wanted to do it for Coach Dwyer, since I had seen what he had done all those years, every day, and maybe that was the way to pay him back. So, Coach, on behalf of all your athletes through the years, we'd all like to thank you for being an unselfish master of motivation, for all that you did for us and continue to do today for your athletes, the lessons we use in our lives daily, for making us winners in life. I ask everyone for a round of applause. No one has yet invented a Hall of Fame for people and coaches like Barry Dwyer. It's an honor to be inducted with the greatest athletes in the history of Chelsea. I've been extremely fortunate to have been part of that unbelievable experience, a true dynasty which really went way beyond the boundaries of sport. Upon entering Northeastern, I could proudly say I was from Chelsea. And I wish my own children, Kevin, Eddie, and Danny, and all kids could get a chance to experience a fraction of what we accomplished and learned in those days. So thanks to my mom for having me, for raising me so well, and thanks everyone very much.
Third year, we have a shot.